Yep. Yep. Nah, bro. Nah. Oh, maybe. The one with the little letters in it? The one that I like? Don't make me say it. But everyone's watching. Love you, Mum. Mums. Oh, alright. Hello. Well, I have an excuse for being late. I am overslept. Okay. Now, I am super excited for this. Okay. My name is Brecht.MPG. Okay. I'm going to talk to you about my favourite idol. By the way, thank you for, trying out for the roles. I picked you because you are the best and you will do the best job. Right. Brecht. Let me give you a quick rundown of the Caucasian talk circle, okay? It's very quick. You blink and you will miss it. Okay. The play begins with a group of farmers and village people are having a dispute over who gets land that has been abandoned. Okay. So who gets it? The group who owned it before or the group who had used the land more productively? Then a singer comes on and tells the story of the Caucasian talk circle, where a peasant girl called Grusha adopts an abandoned baby boy. She has to adopt it because the biological mother, a wealthy governess, abandons the baby as she is going to flee for her own selfish glory. Grusha, the girl, spends a night with the baby and decides to take it and adopt it. As she raises the child, she must overcome tasks like finding milk for the child and finding a name for the boy, the last name. She marries a man who is supposed to be dying. Very sad. But then he miraculously recovers when he finds out the war is no longer on, which is a shame because this chick, Grusha, she ditched the man who she was supposed to be engaged to. Simon Shoshaka. He was at war. He was fighting in the war that is now over. Yeah. After years of caring for the child, the authorities catch up with Grusha and take the child away. The governor's wife and Grusha are sent to trial where the judge Aztec has to decide who the child's mother should be. The biological mother that loves the child, or not the one that loves the child, which is the biological mother. Forgive me, this is the first time I've read this. Aztec draws a circle and placing the child in the centre of the circle asks both women to hold on to an arm of the child. The judge then declares that the mother is the one who pulls the child out of the circle. After 2 attempts, Grusha still refuses to pull the child, saying that she will not hurt him. The judge rules in Grusha's favour, declaring that she is the true mother of the child, for she loves it and will not harm it. Which is odd because, well, most of all Brecht's plays end in utter misery for almost everyone. This play expresses the communist views that justice should rule over law. The village people at the beginning of the story let the people who use the land more productively have the land. Odd. It reminds me of this King Solomon story that was in the Bible, where 2 women were claiming to have a child, same one. And he says, oh, seeing as how you're disputing over it, I'll just cut it in half. So one lady then screams, no, I'd rather she have the baby than, have it killed. So she gets called the mother. Fair enough. Okay, enough about it. You heard it all in additions. Right. So now for the finer side of me. Okay, I'm your director, Brecht.MPG. I have a PhD in the dramatic fine arts. I'm personally affiliated with such masterpieces as Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, Follow Me to the River to Eat the Natural Growth, and the YouTube hit Harry Potter Papa Pals, The Mysterious Ticky Noise. I was the tick, one of my fun roles. I have a knack for directing, also my many Oscars suggest. Right. So, anyway, enough about me. You'll need to know all of that soon enough. Right. Now, as you're my little puppets for this experimentation of epic theatre, this is my first time directing Brecht, you have already been given your roles in the Caucasian talk circle. However, we're briefly going to highlight Brecht's life because to know Brecht is to know epic theatre. He's the father of this monster baby. It was meant to clap. Anyway. Okay. Now, getting to know Brecht. He was drafted near the end of World War I out of medical school. Being a medic at the time, we can only imagine what he saw day to day in our most horrific nightmares. This is probably the influence for his grotesque features I shall inform you of soon. He changed his mind to directing and writing when he wished to display his anti-neo-Nazi views. No one blames him. Right, well, he was born in 1898. Sorry, I am really bad at this. Right. Brecht, who wrote this play, was German, but not a fan of Hitler, disproving the stereotype people associate with Germans today. Little less soon enough. As he was a communist and wished to express his playwriting throughout his plays, he decided to flee to America because the Nazis blamed him and said, "Yo, no." Brecht died of terminal perfectionism in the form of a heart attack in 1956. Far too young for one, far too great. Brecht had two main influences. These are not only influences, they just stand out more than the others. Yeah. But his main influences were Marxism. And who wants to take a guess at what that is? No, you idiots! Sorry. Let's try and be more mature. It was how people act at sporting events.
Yep.
Right, go back to the black one. Very nice. Right. Now, what is epic theatre? I'm going to borrow this. Right. Okay. What comes to mind when I say the word epic? Cool. Awesome. Large. Big. Big. I like that. Amazing. Amazing? Did they fail?
Episode.
Win. And win. Right. And now, when I say theatre, I mean theatre. My spelling is atrocious, you will all live. Come on, theatre. Action. Romance. Actors. Romance. Audience. Actors. Stage. Theatre. Lights. Cameras. Lightning. I'm well known for my lights, camera, action techniques. If you can read that. Right. Well, epic theatre, thanks to the online dictionary, which we all know the internet is the new mother. Right. Well, it explains that theatre is a form of moral drama presenting a series of loosely connected scenes that avoid illusion and often interpret the storyline to address the audience directly, with analysis, argument, or documentation. For example, you'll see in scene 3, the mother-in-law addresses the audience to complain about what the monk's piety, when she is, well, no one to judge really, as she is avarice. So, epic theatre is theatre with a meaning! None of the pessimist use in regular theatre. Naturalistic realism. Right. Right. Yeah. This. Where is it? Thank you. This thing is impressive. Have you noticed what else it is other than impressive? It is big and bold and rather dramatic. Like many of Brecht's ideas, it is also unnatural. I mean, this thing is a real baseball bat? No. But it has some properties. You see, you can hit things with it. Don't look at me like that, I'm not going to yet. Brecht took ordinary things and used them in different ways to make them seem weird. In other words, he was alienating the viewer into making them think of ordinary things as more than ordinary. For example, a tree was a whole forest, a sheet, a wall. Very thin wall. So, back to the big and boldness. Brecht used big and bold to captivate attention so the audience didn't sit there and be passive, stewing in their own little world, also known as the fact of naturalistic theatre. I'm just saying. Naturalist theatre is where the audience is spoon-fed action when they have little or no meaning behind it. I'm just saying. They are put behind a fourth wall, which I'm and show you. For example, not only are you now paying attention, but your friend is as well. Brecht rejected this naturalism, as so will I, with the example of the monk in scene 3. The rejection of naturalism is why the monk has a massive growth on his stomach. Oh, that is his stomach, right. To make him seem unnatural, the monk uses bold exaggerations rather than life movements that truly run this on home because he is a slobbering drunk. You see the progression of the monk's drunkenness as he first enters the stage amused, slightly tipsy. Then after, from swinging a few bottles from the finest liqueur, he begins to stand swaying and stumbling, to later, after more booze, sleeping and falling. This is also to get the audience to think, is this how I act when I'm drunk?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is yes. Yes, it is.
Love it.
This makes the monk seem more disjointed and is slightly over-exaggerated. Oh, really over-exaggerated. Okay. He's magnified as being scum. A drunken monk is pretty much an oxymoron. He also rejects naturalism and religion. The two just don't mix sometimes. And because he is seen as, well, scum, he is given grotesque facial features. Man, I'm tired. Oh God, it's just so hot! Gautier gets defined as being ugly or comically distorted figure, creature or image, so weird or strange, implying that he is big and bold and larger than life. Just like my little friend here. With the inspiration of grotesque features of the monk, he is, thanks to Brecht's wry, dark sense of humour, the monk can be seen as also funny because he is utterly ridiculous. However, Gautier's face, growth, and slobbering exaggerated movements are not the only feature the monk has portrayed in scene 3. He also steps out of character. Brecht was notorious in a good way for using this technique as rejection of naturalism, the normal theatre, where the audience drifts in and out of consciousness to a drab story that may as well have no moral at the end because it will soon be forgotten as soon as it has been established. I'm just saying. The monk sticks out of character to correct himself every now and again, adjust his growth. But I've also put in a sneaky meaning behind this. The action of the monk also shows how we correct ourselves despite our current image in the presence of others.
Mm-hmm.
We will want to look a bit better than ourselves, drunk or not. The sneaky feature also goes with Brecht's themes of going against socialist society's expectations. He went against the Nazi regime through his plays to try and get people of society to realise what was going on and how to act out. If Brecht could change the views of one person, he had done his job. It was Brecht's main goal. This is why I see terminal perfectionism killed him. Brecht was constantly nitpicking and rewriting his plays to make the audience more in tune and realise so that way they could go out and tell people and make them think about the Nazi regime. You'll see in statistics, people who wanted the Nazi party went up, but also people in the communist society went up as well. Not as much as the Nazis, because let's face it, he didn't brainwash people. Now, stepping out of role business, Brecht used this to remind the audience that the actors were only actors and that a play is only a play. He also would stop the action with a singer that would explain what was going to happen in the next part so the audience could focus on how, not what was going to happen next. He would also leave the house lights on to make the audience feel uncomfortable and exposed, to alienate them. Yeah. The last point of discussion I have to bring up due to legal reasons is the lack of budgets we will be having. You see, affordability was another point Brecht raised. Brecht believed that all theatre should be affordable and available for not just the rich to enjoy. This is relevant to his Marxism influence. He also didn't have much money at his disposal, so cheap, inexpensive costumes and props were used in place of expensive items. We'll be doing exactly this too, which brings me to why there are so little of you. So little, so cute. I'm just saying. You will all be paying Brechtian. Actors who would change roles right in stage, like right in the centre of it. This is to once again remind the audience that a play is a play and actors only actors. The audience would have no choice of sitting back and getting lost as they watch because they would have to follow who was who. We shall be using this in scene 3 also with the elderly peasant woman and the guests along with musicians. They will be played by the same people. So don't look at the cast's faces like that, yes, like that. I see your questioning face. I've won Oscars, you know. I'm famous. I'm just saying. They don't look at the cast list with faces like that, you see, because you are meant to be playing more than one role. Think of yourselves as special. I picked you. I'm an Oscar winner. I know what I'm looking for. Right. Now, let's look. We have a lot more to do and only an amount of time to do in it. Now, if you have any ideas, show me. Don't tell me. And